Since the clan generator video got such positive feedback, I decided to do one featuring my main clan, FogClan, which got a lot of votes when I was trying to decide on what video to do next. It'll be in a style similar to the clan generator challenge. I even edited the list of cats to look similar to the ones that get generated. I just kind of changed their names and descriptions to fit. So I tried to break this down as simple as I could without info dumping several pages worth of backstory for each character. This will also likely have to be split into 2 parts due to how many cats are in the clan. Sorry to those who don't like part 2s. The backstory is still the same for this clan. They had to relocate after the Great Flood. Their current camp is nested on a cliff high above a strong stream. The cliff is really dangerous, so they have to put up a lot of rocks and sticks as a barrier to keep the kits from just yoop. And down below is rapid rocks, which play a huge part in some of the characters' backstories. Starting off with FogClan's leader, KESTRELSTAR-a. She's described as a long-haired, orange and red spotted mackerel tabby she-cat with green eyes. Previously Kestrel-tuft, she was never really interested in becoming leader of the clan. When the Great Flood happened, she acted on instinct and took charge in leading everyone to safety. Unfortunately, the disasters took lives of many of her clanmates, including their deputy, and left the leader Slate-Star on his last life and gravely wounded. She expected a cat with much greater leading skills to be appointed as deputy, but the leader took note of her quick thinking and fast reflexes. He then chose her to take over the role as deputy, and she guiltily agreed. She then realized really quick that she wasn't meant to be in an authoritative role. Several days later, she made the hard decision to resign from deputy, feeling as if it should go to a cat better suited to take charge. She had to go find the leader. Upon entering his temporary den, she found that he had lost his last life. For moons after, she was still unsure of herself and her decisions. She relies on the current deputy for help in being leader. She also dwells on the past a bit too much, clouding her vision with what could have been. Moving on to the clan's deputy, Minnosplash. She's described as a blue and white short-haired she-cat with blue-green eyes. She's a small but mighty force to mess with. She has a comical, cunning personality and a way with words. She stands her ground in arguments and seems to always know what is best for everyone. Though she's older than most of the other warriors, you would never know with how much energy and spunk she has. Even after having her first litter with her mate, STORMRUNNER, she becomes restless in the nursery and was always itching to go out. She's also great at fishing. Funnily enough, her design is based on my IRL cat, who is a Russian blue mix. Enjoy this wonderful little cute picture of her. The clan's medicine cat is POOLSTEP. POOLSTEP is a white, short-haired tom with brown tabby patches and green eyes. He's based on an oriental short-hair cat. He sometimes comes off as cold to the other members of the clan, but that's just the way he talks and composes himself. He's often clumsy and awkward in conversation unless it comes to herbs or helping another cat. When he was still learning to be a medicine cat, he was head over heels in love with KESTRELSTAR, at the time still named KESTREL-tuft, who returned his feelings equally as strong. He knew he shouldn't have, but young love clouded his vision. Things took a turn for the worst when he realized he was letting down the clan by being distracted from his medicine duties. He made the heartbreaking decision to cut his romantic ties to KESTREL-tuft. This was devastating for both of them. For moons, she would beg for him back, but he felt right by his decision. His loyalty was only to the clan. Afterwards, his personality became colder and more dismissive, swearing to never allow anyone else to get that close to him. Many seasons after, KESTREL-tuft, who was still an emotional wreck, decided to come clean to POOLSTEP that she'd had a litter of his right after they'd split up, which would come back to haunt them both. Moving on to the warriors. First up is STORMRUNNER. He's described as a dark gray classic tabby tom with long fur and blue eyes. Not only do I love STORMRUNNER's name, I also love his design. He actually reminds me of a thunderstorm. STORMRUNNER is a massive tank of a cat. His large size and deep voice makes him seem very scary on the outside, but on the inside he's one of the kindest cats you'll ever meet. Others often joke about how he should have been named after a lion or some other large cat due to his thunderous tone and frightening stare. He selflessly puts himself before the other cats and takes extra caution to never let another cat see him slip up. He was Slate-Star's original choice for deputy, aiming to have him take over the clan, but the flood left him severely injured with a case of green cough and several wounds. and at the time he was unfit to lead. He's never told this information to any cat besides Minnosplash. Next on the warriors list are the siblings Flintburr, Mothwatcher, and Whitestreak. Flintburr is a short-haired black tom with blue eyes. Flintburr would place his kits Ashkit, Scorchkit, and Thornkit before anything else in the clan. He believed that they would grow up to be the strongest warriors of the clan. After both him and his mate Dustfern lost Ashkit to a fox, they were on edge about anything else harming their kits. When Scorchpaw got hurt on the rocks, it crushed his spirit and infuriated him more than anything. Flintburr from then on out would have heated arguments with his mate over what was the best course of action for their two remaining kits. Seeing as how one died to a fox and the other now is gravely injured, Flintburr's love for his mate traveled over to his kits above anything else, proclaiming that the two remaining will be the best warriors of the forest and focuses all his attention on them. Which is ironic because the other kit who wasn't wounded whatsoever ends up becoming the medicine cat apprentice. Flintburr's sister, Mothwatcher, is described as a short-haired black and orange spotted tortoiseshell-tabby she-cat with amber eyes. She's very loyal to her clan, the code, and most importantly, her morals. She's the most patient cat out of everyone, being able to deal with her previous apprentice, Scorchmist's hot-headedness for a very long time. Her, another warrior named Thistlethroat, and Turtlestone used to be very close with one another, often going on patrols together and talking about their problems. Turtlestone looked up to Mothwatcher in every way, admiring her physical traits and little quirks and amazing hunting ability. One day, Turtlestone goes missing. No cat knows what happened to her. She just up and disappeared. This absolutely crushed Mothwatcher as they were very close with each other. Not soon after, Thistlethroat also left camp to live with a band of rogues, leaving Mothwatcher with absolutely no one. Her brother Whitestreak was very supportive during the time. She also never took on a mate. The only thing that pulled her out of her funk was getting her new apprentice, Stonepaw, and his cute little bubbly personality. The two of them became great friends even after his training was over. Whitestreak. Whitestreak is described as a black and white long-haired tuxedo tom with blue and yellow eyes. Whitestreak is probably the least developed out of the bunch. He's a very fun-loving individual. He never really felt the need to rush into any relationships or having kits. Ironically enough, he's actually really good with kits and loves entertaining the nursery and play fighting with them. He's mostly comedic relief for the group and a great shoulder to lean on. The younger siblings of Flintburr, Mothwatcher, and Whitestreak are CLOUDNOSE and SUNBLAZE. They were the most recently made warriors, not too many moons before the current apprentices started training. CLOUDNOSE is described as a long-haired white she-cat with orange tabby patches and blue eyes. CLOUDNOSE is a bright, caring, compassionate warrior who always made sure that everyone around her was alright. She was quickly given her first apprentice, Willowpaw, after showing her skills by helping her brother overcome his fears. She was often mistakenly hurt by her older sister, Mothwatcher, when she would have training sessions between their two apprentices. She felt her criticism was a bit too much at first, so Willowpaw hardly ever got to train with her only friend. So their apprentices snuck out at night to train, thinking that if their mentors could see how well they worked together, that they would set aside their differences and work on combining their ideas. Instead, it turned into an argument about whose apprentices led who into breaking the rules, despite both of them admitting it was their ideas. CLOUDNOSE, out of anger, punished her apprentice by holding off her naming ceremony by 1 moon, a decision she would later come to regret and apologize deeply for. SUNBLAZE is a short-haired dark gray tom with black spots and yellow eyes. On the outside, SUNBLAZE is an overly confident, cocky warrior with almost an aloof personality. But on the inside, he has crazy amounts of anxiety and is nowhere near as tough as he puts out to be. He puts on a show to assert his position in the clan, which is usually overlooked. SUNBLAZE has little to no development or no exciting plot points yet, so he's kinda blank. The other interesting thing is that he butted heads a lot with his sister when they were still apprentices. Moving on to Owlpatch. Owlpatch is described as a white, medium-haired tom with gray patches, folded ears, and blue eyes. Owlpatch was originally a kitty pet who was caught wandering through FogClan's new territory. Each time he was ran off, he would just kind of wander back onto the territory. Eventually the clan decided to sit down and talk to him with his funny little accent. He got lost and doesn't like the idea of living alone. After agreeing to go through several trials, he was eventually accepted into the clan. He basically pestered them until they wouldn't kick him out anymore. His outside views was actually greatly beneficial to the clan. He taught many tricks he picked up as a kitty pet. He never wanted to admit it, but he joined the clans in hopes of getting to know Willow-Moon a little bit better. He often tried making advances, bringing her flowers and extra prey, but sadly it was never reciprocated. He became obnoxious and annoying to her, and she often avoided him entirely. He's awkward, but he's trying his best. THISTLETHROAT. THISTLETHROAT is the last on the warriors. She's a short-haired, cream-colored she-cat with brown Siamese markings and blue-green eyes. THISTLETHROAT is a cold, manipulative cat with a drive to ruin everyone's day. She's very, very blunt. She likes to purposely kill others' moods and make them feel awful about themselves. She picks up on her friends' flaws and uses it against them for her benefit. She's so good at being manipulative that most of the cats can't see harm in her action and actually defend her when others talk bad about her. Her resentment for her mother struck a nerve in her, and ever since she's been just as cruel to the world as the world has been to her. There were many rumors going around about her when she was younger, since her mother decided to never announce the name of her father. Long after she became a warrior, her sister Willow-Moon was born, also not having a father. Fed up with it all, not wanting her sister to go through the same kind of treatment that she did when she was younger, she went off on her mother and swore to protect her sister. While THISTLETHROAT was still a young apprentice, she met a loner Tom named Pine who coaxed her into visiting his band of rogues every other day. It was there that she felt at home. After becoming a warrior, she fell right into Pine's trap and developed feelings for him. She ended up abandoning her clan to join their band of rogues. And I'm gonna stop here because it's about halfway through. I really appreciate the excitement surrounding this video. It was so fun to get to talk about these characters that I've had for so long, but I never really knew how to introduce them. The second part will cover more of my main characters. These characters are considered main characters, but the ones I'm going to be covering in the next video have way more fleshed out backstories.